Alright, with it just being about a week away till the Elden Ring DLC, with it just being about a week away till Decompression and Rocknets, with it just being about a week away till 2.2 ends, meaning Boothill will be gone and 2.3 being here, I want to finally give my final impressions on Boothill. Ever since he's released, he has practically been the unit I've used on every time I'm on the game, except when I'm farming with my daily stuff, obviously. But when I'm messing around in MOC, when I'm recording background footage, all that kind of stuff, I've just sort of been using only Boothill. And so, finally, with him almost being gone, I want to give my final opinions on Boothill. Before I get to the video, drop a like, drop a sub, hit the bell icon for more videos like this. Let's get straight into the video. So originally, after I did do the first impressions video, I still wasn't super sold on him. He was still probably one of the most fun DPSs I've used, but I wasn't super sold on how good he was. Since at the time, I was sort of, again, struggling with skill points. I was mainly using Sparkle to fix that. His damage output was a lot better, but obviously not having the full turn with someone like Bronya, it was sort of hindering his performance, but it obviously wasn't enough to make it super detrimental or anything. But after that video did go up, I was actually informed by you guys that there was a thing people were doing with running a really fast Gallagher with the 3-star Lycon multiplication. And that's when I did learn about it and learn how actually powerful it was. I don't have a build Gallagher, so instead I did put that on my fast Luocha, and it was just working as good, which is why you guys mainly see Luocha on the teams I use him with when he is using Bronya. And so once that sort of fixed the issue of me just running out of skill points, I finally was like, damn, okay, I could finally use this Bronya that has practically the same speed as him, obviously less once his Lycon effect goes in, so he has more speed overall. But I'm able to do a thing where he attacks, and then it's Bronya's turn, all that kind of stuff. And then I have Luocha generating skill points. So now I'm finally able to do this combo where I can constantly use Bronya's skill, keep getting output with Boothill. And I'm just like, damn, okay, yeah, no, his output is infinitely better with this. And now I'm just shocked. I'm like, damn, okay, so I was really just holding myself back with thinking Bronya might not be the greatest, and how I'm forced to use Sparkle, or I'm just gonna have to go ahead and use the Harmony Trailblazer. So after finally getting to use that right away, after you guys did tell me about it, then I'm like, alright, yeah, with Bronya with the full action forward is just really good. So getting to absolutely shred through Memory of Chaos with him, other stuff, just having fun. I even threw him in Pure Fiction for fun. He has just been absolutely so fun to use. Constantly breaking enemies with the Fanning the Hammer, getting multiple turns thanks to Bronya, having Runway up the speed, Boothill getting up to like 200 speed or something, and then also getting extra turns from Bronya. Just all the output you can get in a single turn with this team of him and Bronya especially had just been so fun. And it's probably, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of my favorite teams to use right now. Just because, okay, while I'm using him, he's really good, but I still do have to think about how planning my attacks will go. And again, as I mentioned multiple times now, Hunt is my favorite path in the game. So finally getting another Hunt character has made me really happy. Finally making him a character that can actually sort of think and not just unga bunga AoE through your everything that you need. This has been a big refresher and a lot more fun. And then obviously on the topic with using him with Harmony Trailblazer, that has also been really fun. I personally prefer the Bronya output more because with Harmony Trailblazer you do hit bigger numbers, you're able to enable the one-shot city. But I much rather prefer the Bronya output you can get, because then you can get more toughness reduction, you can get more break damage in, so obviously having more output can equate to more damage, because instead of one big hit, you can get to 2 to 3 smaller damaging hits that still do a lot, and that can add up to more. And I personally prefer that. But again, with Harmony Trailblazer is still very fun. Just being able to one-shot something like the Memory of Chaos or Genti, or just anything on the side, seeing the Super Break, just seeing the damage go from 300k all the way up to like 600k is just really funny to me. My Harmony Trailblazer still is stuck at E2, because God forbid I don't want to farm those birds. So I'm still missing out on some break effect stuff from the E4. But even then, with the E2 Harmony Trailblazer is still just performing so good with the Super Break. Absolutely just skyrocketing his damage. He already has really good damage, and now it just gets skyrocketed to some crazy numbers that are practically one-shot most bosses. Has just been a really fun time to use. And actually, he has been so fun to use to the point I went for his E1. I did go for his E1, went up to Sock Pity. I got so lucky, and instead of seeing the Hunt symbol, I saw Abundance and pulled a Bailu. And at that point, I almost hit uninstall because I was so damn mad. But obviously I didn't. And then eventually I was contemplating, I'm just going to throw summons at it. And then I made the decisive decision, alright, I'm going to buy one more pack. I'm going to just get the guaranteed, I want this E1. Because if you guys don't know, the E1 lets him start off with a pocket trick shot right off the bat. And enables him to ignore more defense. And as I mentioned previously on some guides, besides having break damage and break effect, all that stuff that you can kind of give him, the next best thing is actually ignoring defense. So the E1 is extremely good on him. Not only is it good quality of life with the extra pocket trick shot, so where you can practically go into the battle, you have one, you kill some small enemy on the side. For example, as you've probably seen in the background footage, the Trotter we can split the Trotter, kill the Trotter, and now he's at max stacks 4 pocket trick shot. And now you can just get your crazy output that early. And now with that also doing more damage, because when he's doing damage, he is ignoring a certain amount of defense, which is really, really good at the same time. So this E1 provides a lot of value. I do not regret going for it. I do regret getting my Bailu to E3, but you know, it is what it is. Not only that, I like using Boothill so much to the point where Ruan Mei is like just glued to his team. I'm going for the E1 on Ruan Mei for the more ignoring defense. Eventually, I'm going to do a setup, which I don't remember what the exact calcs were in my head, or not in my head, but what I wrote down, where I put him with Sparkle again because my Sparkle has E2, so that's a certain amount of defense ignored thanks to the E2. His E1 is going to be ignoring defense. The new Relic set is going to be ignoring defense. His E1 is going to be ignoring defense. And then again, as I mentioned, the E2 on Sparkle is going to be ignoring defense. And then Ruan Mei is going to be giving more ignore defense. And I'm pretty sure the number went above 100%. So whenever I'm able to set that up, I definitely would have tried that because I just want to see how much damage it's going to do when you're ignoring 100% plus of the enemy's defense. And also still getting the benefits from Ruan Mei. Probably going to throw Harmony Trailblazer in there just for the super break and more break effect. And then Sparkle is also there giving attack percent, which doesn't really matter. Damage down, all that kind of stuff doesn't really matter, but mainly for the fact that the E2 also helps with ignoring defense. So it's just going to be a little funny experiment to see what kind of numbers he can hit with that. Once I do get it, I definitely do plan on making a video on it. So definitely do stay tuned for that. And if I summon for Ruan Mei and I pull a standard character, you guys might not hear from me again. I can only handle losing so many more 50-50s. Anyway, so is Boothill one of my favorite units to use, or is he just my favorite DPS in general? I will say, he is almost my favorite DPS that I've used in the game. I still think my #1 spot goes to using a Danheng when I did get my E2 Sparkle. I don't know, something about using Danheng was just so fun for the first time. Or rather than the first time, but using it with an actual build Sparkle, solving his issue. That is probably still my #1 thing, and probably still my favorite DPS thing to use, I guess, in the game. Obviously, it's not my favorite team. My favorite team and most fun overall is still going to the Welt attack team. That's still, bar none, my favorite in the game. But as a hyper carry, solo DPS wise, Boothill almost takes that #1 spot. I'm just going to give that to Danheng. He gets the little edge over that. I think I had a little more fun using him. Obviously, if you talk about now, I do like using Boothill more than Danheng now. But when you talk about overall my time playing the game, I definitely do think that time where I did get to use Sparkle with Danheng was definitely #1 for me. And Boothill is just a close second. But yep, again, right now, definitely my favorite DPS to use right now. Probably my second favorite team in the game. It's probably going to remain like that. I highly doubt any team is going to be follow-up attack team for me. Just follow-ups are so cool to me. Especially with Jade coming out now. So her being an IPC, a follow-up attack character that consumes HP, gives attack, has good synergy at E1, and is also really hot. You didn't hear that from me though. All just adds up, so another addition to the team is just gonna make the team that much more fun. So I highly doubt that even a break team with Boothill, which Boothill is also like one of my favorite characters, I just highly doubt he's ever gonna be able to top the follow-up attack team. But again, DPS wise, almost my favorite. Currently is my favorite DPS to use. So definitely do not regret going for him. Don't regret going for his Lycone. I do definitely regret losing the 50-50 to Yanqing and then losing the 50-50 to Bailu for him. But you know, what can we do? Anyway, so yeah, that is the video. That is my final impressions of Boothill. Very, very, very satisfied with his performance. Looking forward to the future buffs he will be getting, especially with the upcoming Relics set and once I do get the E1 on Ruan Mei. And who knows, potential new teammates like a Sustain that's going to be break effect. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But yeah, if you guys did summon for Boothill, let me know if you guys are enjoying him as much as I am. If you guys went for dupes, if you guys went for anything crazy, if you guys went for E6, who knows? I actually surprisingly see a good amount of E6 Boothills. So definitely I'm very curious. But yep, that's for the video. Peace out.